Here with 37 Over at the Avondale House Party on January 27th, 2018. And first off, you guys just give me your name and what you guys play in the band.
Spencer Berry, guitar and vocals.
Matt Windsor, drums.
Mitchell Wildenbeest, bass and vocals.
And how did 37 Over come to be?
Spence, you take it away, buddy.
37 Over kind of started in high school. I had a lot of songs that I kind of wrote, and I had really ambition of being in a band, but I never really found anybody to play with. And make a long story short, Matt and I had lockers beside each other when I was in grade 11. He was in grade 12, and he had just gotten a drum kit, and he said, "Hey, do you want to come over and jam?" So I did, and we had a few jam sessions like that. We had another guy named Josh Finlan who originally joined as bass. Just due to creative differences, we kind of agreed to part ways with him. And Mitch is Matt's cousin, and Matt actually asked Mitch if he wanted to play bass. And as soon as the first time I played with Mitch, we just had kind of a sync that that really worked, and it just felt really good. So we kind of continued under what is now 37 Over, and we just started writing and playing and kind of built it up all within the summer of 2014.
Interesting band name choice. Anything on why you guys chose that road with the name?
Matt, you were out golf.
I like to golf, but I'm not very good at it.
So it's a golfing something to do with golf. They're 37 over, eh? All the time. Or?
Best score I've ever gotten.
The story really comes from, they say, like, if you look back in history transcripts and stuff, that it was 37 seconds between when the spotter on the Titanic spotted the iceberg and to when the ship hit the iceberg. There was a 37-second gap. So the name is like 37 seconds and it's over, because obviously, 1,000 people lost their lives. So it's kind of like you take that last 30 seconds of freedom, that last 30 seconds of your life, and you just embrace it, and then the ship hits the iceberg and the whole world's changed.
The ship sinks.
That is not the actual story, by the way.
You just made that up.
No.
That's very interesting to say the least, though, right? So
The real story is he got a speeding ticket and he was going 37 over. So that's the actual.
So you guys released your debut album earlier this week, correct?
Yeah.
You guys want to talk a little bit about that and just what that means for you guys going forward, and what it was like creating, your writing process, and just a little bit about that?
This album dates back. There's a song on there called Closing Song, Tell Me It's Over, and that song was actually written in 2012. So this album is like a compilation of our career up to that. We have 3517 that was written in 2014, Fly, which was written in 2015, Panic Attack, which was written in 2016, Reply, which was written in 2017. So it's a really good kind of combination of all our songs that we've had. And to me, it's a reflection on who we are and what we've done. I really feel like this album is like a kind of a past version of us trying to grow up and trying to find ourselves. And I feel like going forward now, it's going to be more present, but this is more a reflection of what we've done and a reflection of hopefully what a lot of people have felt and what a lot of people have been through, and something that they can all relate to and that we can, reflect on and move forward with.
Awesome. And on that theme of, you guys, it says on your Facebook page from Brighton, is that correct? You guys are all from Brighton here, or Trenton, or?
We're both from Brighton. He's from Rednersville originally, so Carrying Place.
So I got to ask you, what was it like as musicians growing up in the area here? What were your influences? Was anyone locally? Just maybe talk a little bit about
that. It was hard. It's hard growing up in Brighton playing music, because nobody plays music, and anybody who does is 40 years old and plays country. Right? It's
there's not a lot of venues in the area to explore music creatively, or even I never found there was a lot going on shows wise in the area besides older country style stuff. So there wasn't much of a scene in Brighton anyway.
So where would you guys put yourselves in terms of, for most of us here, we could put you the pop punk, maybe alternative genre there. Not to put you in one specific area, but where would you guys say would you guys say that you're maybe pushing maybe some of the punk, music like of late? Do you think from the area? Or?
I definitely think our music is more a bit. I try to think it's more '90s oriented. I do agree that this album at least is a pop punk sound. I also like to think it's a mix. And we've got elements of grunge in there. We've got elements of ska. We've got elements of harder punk. We've got elements of like pop punk, Blink-182, Green Day style.
But we also have elements of newer bands. Like I know Mitchie's pretty into Joyce Manor, so it's a bit of a combination of older punk and newer punk.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say too that we're still looking for our sound. I think that this album is a reflection of we found our sound, but it's a broad spectrum now. And I think that as we continue to write, I think it's going to be a bit little narrower to try to find what we find, or it could just be extensive, right? In other songs we played around with elements of ska. We've played around with grunge again, like everything I mentioned earlier. So I'm not sure what's going to come.
I still think we should add a horn section to the band. Just really ska up, just guide, trombone, trumpet,
He is lying there too.
So I hate to keep harping on the subculture or the genre of punk per se, but growing up, like I said, from your experience in the Brighton, Trenton, Belleville area, would you say that primarily then that it was country and it was not much so like rock and punk based music that you grew up listening to? Like I said, where was the influences? Was it outside of the area, or was it right here locally that you learned to love this kind of music and you got your sound, you think?
The influence for me, at least, I'm sure we can go down the line and each tell a different story, but I was 10 years old and I saw Green Day on the TV playing American Idiot, and they were just jamming away, and this big green wall of green water came down and just was flooding the band, and they were soaked like this green slime, and they were playing. And from that moment on, that was the coolest thing I ever saw. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be in that situation.
So what does 37 Over want to contribute to the music culture here in the Belleville region?
I would just, I want to kind of bring more of a punk scene to the area.
I was going to say contribute to more. There's not much of a punk scene, let alone a music scene in the Belleville area, so it'd be nice to contribute something towards our genre anyway. That, I don't know, we have a couple bands that we've kind of been playing a few shows with now, the Enrights and the Same As Always, so it's just nice to bring a little bit more variety to the area, a little more live music. I find there's not a whole lot.
I'd like to think that we just want to bring music to the area and show people that they can do it, because a lot of people don't do it.
And why do you think that is, though? Is that just because of the age of where people, don't take the time to learn the instrument, and they're focused on, downloading music off the internet and not, learning the craft? Or what do you think that is attributed to?
Well, I kind of think it's a mixed bag. It's kind of like the catch-22. The country kind of style, older generation is more popular here, so that's a lot of the venues and the opportunities around here. So I find that, like, as a punk band, there's not a lot of venues to do it, so that kind of, like, it'd be a lot easier to book shows, if we were a country band or a cover band. Like, it'd be a million times easier to book shows than playing punk around here.
Absolutely. So then I ask you, where does 37 Over expect to be or hope to be in 5 years?
I have no clue, and I don't want to know, and I don't want to think about it, because I want to take everything we do every day, day by day, and I want just to be on this musical train, and I want to see where it ends up. And I don't care if in 5 years we're broken up. I don't care in 5 years we're on a major label touring the world. I've accomplished everything that I've personally wanted to accomplish music-wise, and this is all just bonus, and I'm on for the ride.
Anyone add to that?
That's pretty much hit the nail on the head, I'd say.
For sure. So,
anyway, but I don't know about you, Matt.
I was just going to have a sarcastic answer, so yeah. Same thing as Spence.
Yeah.
So you heard from you guys earlier that you've played a couple house parties here and there, or house type of shows. But from the environment that you're getting a sense of right now, what do you guys expect for tonight?
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be hot, sweaty, fun. It's gonna be good. Yeah.
What's cool about this too is it's got like this nice, almost like natural venue feel. It's got like this nice little wall here that kind of feels like a window. It's got a little spot for the kit back there, and it is tiny, and it is gonna roar, and it's just gonna be a fun way. It's a no pressure, ground level, loud rock and roll show.
Good time, yeah. Just. No,
do you think more house venues like this could broaden the punk scene in the Belleville area? You think?
Absolutely, if there's people willing. That's how a lot of, especially in places where punk is pretty relevant, like California and stuff. That's where all the shows play. They're either in someone's garage or someone's basement. So it really, if more people were doing this, the scene would be a lot bigger for sure.
And finally, why should people go see 37 Over play?
People should go see 37 Over play because it's a fun environment. Everybody can be included. We express some of our political views, but I think it's something we can mostly agree on. We believe in, equal rights. We're a big fan of women's rights as well, and, empowerment women. And I think that that's something that we can all feel special for and we can all stand for. And it's just a good time. Come out, if, people we're playing at a bar, if you want to have a few drinks, if you want to meet up with some old friends, if you want to listen to songs, it's just an environment that everybody can feel safe and everybody can have fun with. And that just, you can be yourself and hopefully you can be inspired.
Awesome. Well, thank you for the time, guys. It was really nice doing the interview, and I look forward to hearing you guys tonight. And that was the interview with 37 Over at the Avondale House Party. They'll be on tonight at 11 o'clock to who knows when. So, should be a good one. Thanks, guys.